Okay, we now have learned the parts of the cow and we've learned how to condition score the cow. Now let's continue on and talk about what does all that mean and how do we put it together. So when we're looking at a herd, we're going to have certain targets. And our ideal body condition score for calving is going to be a 5.0. And if you remember back, we said that we don't want cows gaining or losing much condition from the dry off period to calving. So that means that at dry off, we also would have desired to have the majority of our cows at a 5.0. So our targets at dry off are 5, and our target at calving is 5. Now with heifers, we typically want to have a little bit extra condition because they're smaller in stature. They can't consume as much dry matter intake. And so we want to have them about a half a condition can score higher when they freshen in. So our target for our heifers are going to be 5.5 at calving. Equally important is the range of your body condition scores in your herds. Typically, we do not want more than 10 to 15% below a 4.0, no more do we want more than 10 to 15% above a 6.0. So as you look at the examples below in herd 1, there is quite the range. Uh, Even though we have the same average of 5.0 compared to herd 2. In herd 2, you can see that the body condition scores are much more tight, much more compact. And that would be our desired target, is having these cows, the majority of the cows, near the 5.0. We realize that ideally, yes, all cows will be a 5.0, but we realize that that's nearly impossible. But we want them as close together to a 5, below it or above it as possible, so that we can meet all the things that we've talked about prior of increased fertility, optimizing milk, reducing any health issues. So we're trying to target a 5.0 average that is very tight. It does not have a lot of outliers, a lot of 4s and a lot of 6s. We want them as close to that 5.0 as possible. Lastly, we'll wind up this session just showing kind of the circle of life when it comes to body condition scoring, is that we will have certain periods of the year that we're going to body condition score these cows and find out how well we're doing and figure out a plan to get us to the next target date. And for instance, if you look at the top of the circle, January 1st, and we go clockwise on February 1, yeah, we're going to be body condition scoring those cows and making sure that we maintain the condition that we had on them when we dried them off with our target of 5.0. And then at pre-breeding, 30 some, 40 some days out before breeding, again, we'll be looking at those cows and making sure that they did not lose a body condition score. And if they had, try to implement some things to get them on that positive energy balance so that we can have higher conception and pregnancy rates. And then again, actually at breeding, where are we at? It gives us an idea that if we don't have a good breeding season, or what were some of the reasons? Did we not have the cows in the condition that we need them? And then sometime in mid lactation, we'll be evaluating them again. Are they maintaining condition through the heat of the summer, or are they actually hopefully gaining some weight and starting to get us prepared for when we're going to be checking them in September and October and preparing the cows for dry off with a target at the beginning of when we start this of 4.75 to 5. Probably not going to happen, but that's going to be our target. But again, when we dry them off on December 10th ish or in that neighborhood, we want the majority of the cows to be very tight and close to the 5.0.